Okay, now obviously I think many of you would have guessed it because we went to Leboraya Dash. Today we're going to review the township of Sime Darby's development, Elmina City. Let's go. Okay, so we just got ourselves our parking over here, and as I mentioned, we are here at Elmina Lakeside doing this entire township review. Now, the first thing I like over here in the commercial podium, you don't have to pay any sort of parking. Aha, beautiful. So I think it's because it's still rather new and they are attracting a lot of people to come over here. So obviously having a paid parking over here doesn't make a lot of sense. Now I'm here on a Friday about 12:30 p.m. right now, right? And I got to tell you that the parking lot here is almost pretty full. But it didn't take me long to get a parking, maybe about 1-2 minutes. The minute I come in, got parking already. But if you look at the area, right now it's pretty packed. So I'm actually very excited to see how it actually performs on a Saturday or Sunday, which I may come again tomorrow or Sunday just to kind of check out the place. So before we go into the main commercial podium over here, right, I just want to point out that there's three quote-unquote drive-through commercial chains. Like this is Idia Coffee, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And there's Burger King over there, and there's Nut right next door. So essentially, this one kind of reminds me of my time during US, right? Because US, we always have this fast food restaurants that has this drive-through, very quick access and very quick access out also. But this one is interesting concept. You can only do this if your land over here is not scarce, okay, because you need quite a fair bit of space in order to have a standalone commercial area like such. Okay, a township cannot be a township without a school. So obviously over here, you can see that they are actually marketing it right now. All the way from 3 years old to 17 years old, right? There's an international school called Sekolah Wesley Methodist. Now, this was a school that I was supposed to go to actually in Sentul area. That is the main one. I think now they have an international setup over here, which is actually about 15 minutes away from this particular location, located in Sungai Buloh area. So this is actually quite convenient for the people that actually still have children and they're going to school. This is the Elmina main entrance over here, and obviously this is going to be where their City of Elmina operation office or their management office that manage the entire commercial or development over here. So obviously you're going to see their sales gallery over here, you're going to see the Zeus Coffee over here. Basically, most of the main activity in Elmina City itself is going to be situated in this podium over here. At the main podium over here right now, you can see there's a bit of a Chinese Year thematic thing going on over there. And also a lot of people are selling plants. So I think right now the event space over here, which is the main podium as I mentioned, right, on top of having their sales gallery kind of stuff, basically explaining to you the entire township, what the developments going on, and also what the new launches around the area. So just now I just kind of briefly browsed through over here. I noticed there are a few things that are on sale right now. Number one, there is this high-rise building called Canopy. Okay, now that one is probably the first ever high-rise building in this Sime Darby development, Elmina City itself. And then there's also commercial areas that is also up for sale. And I believe those are the commercial areas that are sold directly to end users, right? Where they can actually do warehousing, factory works and whatnot. They're rather sizable. But the one that we're situated on right now, right, these commercial areas, they're all governed and mandated by Sime Darby. So it means that they're going to be leased only directly from the developer itself, just to maintain the quality of tenants that actually come in this particular area over here, which personally I prefer, because if over here not governed by anybody else, right, then you will suddenly see like a Dolby Center over here or some very weird things going on. Now this one over here, as I mentioned, the commercial area, completely mandated and actually governed by Sime Darby itself, so it's much more better and more appealing to the eyes also. So this is one of the ways the developer actually attracts people to come, like foot traffic, to come to this particular site of the development. Basically also to showcase their sales gallery, very smart, but also bring people to come and actually enjoy or buy certain things like this type of pot flowers and whatnot lah. So basically developers use these strategies to get more foot traffic to the commercial area, to see the entire development, and then potentially also sell them the concept and the dream of what the Elmina city can be like lah. So that's a very interesting concept by developers nowadays. And I also seen some other developers in the market doing certain type of events like young entrepreneur lah, or like doing this festive season punya barang, just to attract more people to come and see the place, and then potentially converting them slowly. Smart move. Before we tour the commercial area, right, I just want to understand a little bit better about the entire development over here. I was told that it's 6,500 acres of development in the whole totality of the building itself. And the first project that they actually launched, right, which was in Elmina Business Park. Now, I like the fact that this sales gallery actually has this type of thing. So essentially, if I click over here, right, it will show me that this is actually the phase one over here that they have already completed lah. So obviously, this one is going to be the business side. This one is going to be the commercial area. And then when you click on the phase two or stage two, right, it will light up the other side over there lah. So I'm not too sure if this one over here is already done up, but essentially more importantly is this one over here, Elmina West, where we are actually currently situated on now. So Elmina West is where the Elmina City Centre is at, and also where we are at right now lah, the commercial area. So as you can see, Elmina City Centre Park, there's basically the commercial area, the sales gallery, and whatever not over here lah. Then obviously they're going to launch multiple things over here, which is the landed properties around all this over here, Elmina West itself. How convenient of Sime Darby putting a big map over here, right? Just to give you guys an example of where we actually came from, right? We came from Surian MRT station and we drove all the way to City of Elmina, which actually has three major highways to get into this particular lah. One of them is the Goodyear Express Highway, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The other one is NKVE, and the other one is Dash Highway lah. So Dash Highway is obviously going to be the most expensive of them all, right, which is about 6 ringgit 10 cents to 6 ringgit 30 cents. And the other ones are, one of them is free and the other one is actually 2 ringgit 30 cents only lah. So to come over here is about 24 minutes from IKEA Damansara lah. Now the other properties that we have seen last time, right, for Township is actually over here is a Gambut area where you can see Desa Park City over here lah. So for here to go over here to City of Elmina would roughly take you about 40 to 1 hour drive, I would assume, because it's actually a quite far journey lah. But now considering the fact that Desa Park prices has already skyrocketed, right? I mentioned the other day, 400,000 property has now went up all the way to 2 million to 2.4 million because it's a very developed, very mature township already lah. Now City of Elmina, because it's a rather new development, is still priced at a rather affordable, decent price range, right? Anywhere between 600,000 to $1 million for the landed properties. Okay, so the commercial area, you are greeted with a lot of very famous franchise restaurants. You have Ole Ole Bali over here, you have Chica Bonita over here, which is a Mexican food lah. So walking down over here also, there's also Kenny Hill Bakers, Sushi Zamai. Basically coming here, you don't have to worry about food considering the fact that you have money lah, because these are all franchise restaurants. Obviously, they're going to be a much more premium in prices as well. As I mentioned, Friday 1 p.m. right now, seems like Kenny Hill Bakers is the only one that is fully packed, right? You look behind me. This one is also facing towards the lake that we were at just now, so it's obviously going to attract a lot more customers lah. You can see over here, there's a ton of people over here right now. 1 p.m. on a Friday. Just imagine on a Saturday, Sunday, right? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people waiting outside and queuing to get inside here. But what is interesting is that everyone that is facing on the lake side, right, is going to be the restaurants. And then on the other side over here is going to be your clothing lah, your shoes lah, your Chaji, your 7-Eleven, all situates on the other side, which is nearer to the car park lot lah. So I believe it makes a lot of sense also, because for the restaurants, you want to give them the view of the lake, and for the shoes or the other things, right, you can just leave them on the other side of the podium lah. And more importantly, right, there is actually this giant grocer over here. So you want to get fresh produce and whatnot, you can come over here any single day. So staying over here is really like a township, but you really don't have to go anywhere else. There is a saloon over here. There is leather bag over here. Caring Pharmacist is also here. And then Mr. DIY is over there lah. So we bought ourselves some Gongcha, right? And Gongcha, if you guys are watching this video, sponsor us next time lah. We do so many condo reviews, damn bloody hot eh. any drink company sponsors lah. So because this place has ample amount of space, right, you're occasionally going to see some pop-up stores over here, which I kind of like because it kind of supports small and micro businesses, right, SMEs like essentially. And over here, you can see instantaneously, right, this kind of reminds me of those outlets or the US shopping malls, right, where it's rather typically on the outdoor basis, right. Now in Malaysia, today's weather sometimes can be a bit questionable, but this is a concept that's rather interesting because you don't get to see this very often in other townships lah. Now this one over here today, weather is rather gloomy, it's not very hot, so it's still okay. But during days that is rainy or like it's scorching hot during Chinese New Year, right, I just wonder how many people would actually come to this place lah. Because it is very focused on building a family, right? They even have Happy Fish swim school inside here. So for the children over here, they can actually learn how to swim in this safe zone lah. How convenient, how nice. Okay, but just now I was going to mention about the entire development, right? So they started off with the residential developments over here, and then they now built the commercial lah. So it makes a lot of sense for the residential to actually come up first because you need residents, you need population over here, civilization, then only go and build commercial. If not, the commercial is going to be completely dead lah. So Sime Darby has the logic in mind. They know exactly how to build a township, as in the past they have already done so in many other places lah. So for me, right, seeing that the commercial area right now is so developed, you know, there's so many eateries over here, is beautiful. And then we're going to quickly browse through all the landed properties over here, the terrace houses, the semi-D. These are the ones that actually launched in the first phase lah. So we'll go check them out, kind of give you a bit more context of what the entire development is like, and then we go and find out where the canopy residence is at also lah. That one is going to be the first condo or high-rise building in Elmina city itself. Okay, so Sime Darby has always been very famous for their landscaping and also the community hub that they develop over here lah. As you can see right now, they are actually on their phase 3 of the park over here. If you walk over here closely, right, one thing that I really like that they have already incorporated is that soccer field over there. Look at that. Look at the amount of greeneries over here and look at how well maintained. I mean, obviously it's new, but just look at it. This is really good quality finishing over here. And you can see Elmina Urban Park Phase 3, which is actually facing towards the river over there, is also already on its way on development. How nice. I really like Sime Darby's development for giving the spacious environment, you know. Because unlike other developers, they will just go and whack. Okay, now got land here, confirm they will whack some sort of semi-D or condominium, which is the most high profit margin one, right? But Sime Darby take it the other way. They actually give you space to actually make living more, I don't know, like every day you come up back from work, right, you're already like so damn tired, and then come back to all the high-rise building, very penat lah. But Sime Darby just takes it to the next level. They don't emphasize so much on building this type of more properties, but they actually put more on communal space lah, which personally I feel more developers should do this. This space is so big, right? Some people actually just use these electronic scooters to get around lah. Obviously this is a place where you can cycle, skateboard, or even, you know, look at that, how convenient, right? I wish I had something like this. But if you're somebody that skateboards over here, the land is actually quite flat, so it's actually quite convenient for you to do so. So we just came down from the commercial podium, and this is actually the urban park. And now in the urban park, right, I love the fact they left the concrete design look lah. As I mentioned many times, right, I'm a sucker for industrial look. And what is all over there? Is that a duck? Hey, that's a real duck over there lah. Just standing over there, right? Let's go say hi to that duck. Hey, betul punya duck? So just now from afar, right, I thought that this was actually fake, but as I came closer, I saw the shit over here that I instantaneously noticed that it started moving. So it's actually a real duck over here lah. I don't know if it's a duck or what is this, but I don't want to get stand too close, later you come and attack me. Now they have this very interesting Harimau Malaya over here, kind of simulating our Malaysia soccer football team lah. So, because this particular location is also right next to the soccer field over there, which is very nice. And if I look at the grass over here, right, this looks like proper punya soccer field level grass, you know. So as I mentioned many times, right, Sime Darby has always delivered on their landscaping, and this particular development over here is no exception lah. Beautiful! Look at that. I think over time when all these trees actually grew and blossom, right, give it about 5 years and then it's going to look way much nicer than it is today lah. And because this location is also very close to the Subang airport, very often you will hear planes just flying by lah, as you can see over there, right? Now I'm at the soccer field, I really now can tell that this is actually artificial grass lah. Makes a lot of sense also because the maintenance of this type of grass, right, is very expensive. I mean, in Malaysia, we are always with very weird weathers, right? Especially during rainy seasons, this place is going to puddle up quite a fair bit. So to maintain that type of level of field is going to be very, very hard lah. So I think a very smart move by the developer Sime Darby to actually use artificial grass over here. But from afar, right, it looks beautiful. I could just imagine myself playing soccer over here, assuming I can get access lah. But just look at that. I don't think I've seen such a soccer field in any townships as of yet lah. But do let me know in the comments below if there is one, so that we can go and check those places out as well. So here, I believe there's going to be some night market or some sort of pingming market kind of thing going on over here lah. Okay, so to give you a context also, right now they are only at 1/3 of the development, you know. Right now they have only about 10,000 residential units spanning across 40,000 residents over here lah. Now this is according to Wikipedia, so reliable source, but take it with a grain of salt lah. So essentially this particular township over here, right, they plan to do this across 30-40 years, and I believe that this is something that Sime Darby can definitely pull off, considering the fact that they have already done such a massive investment in this particular area itself lah. And also, as I mentioned just now, right, the accessibility to get here is actually not too bad. If they were able to pull off from the train stations over there, right, from Surian residence all the way to, I can't remember the last station that was in Disara, that area, but if they can connect it all the way to this direction over here, right, this place will boom, man. I can see this as like one of the best townships so far that I've been to. I mean, of course, in the outskirt area, you cannot compare with Desa Park City, right, because it's in the city itself. So obviously with the increase of EV vehicles, right, Elmina City has also introduced charged EV, I guess that's how you pronounce it. So essentially quite convenient for the EV drivers out here also lah. So the township obviously right now is still rather new, right? That's why you don't actually have this payment thing over here or barrier gate. But when they develop into a more mature township, obviously this place is going to have that lah. But look at the Conto houses over here, very nice. So as I mentioned, there's so much land over here. This is Shah Alam Bandar Anggrek. Okay, now we are at Elmina Valley. Valley means inside the slopey areas, right? So on the left hand side is in the slopey area, and on the right hand side is actually on the upper ground or upper lands lah. I personally would prefer to go for this ones over here if the pricing is almost the same lah. Obviously higher ground is going to be more expensive, and these are also Sime Darby's development they have completed in the past. So this could give you a bit of an understanding of what Elmina, what Sime Darby is going to deliver for you lah. So looks like everything is pretty well done. Okay, now this is coming to the end of this particular township walk around, right? Now Elmina City itself is still a rather new township, right? Considering the fact that this will pan out all the way to 2040-ish year lah. Okay, now we are only at 2024 right now, which means there's still another 20 plus years for them to actually mature or make the whole development in the grand scheme of things lah. So I feel that this particular development still has a lot to prove to what it wants to develop. But knowing the developer is Sime Darby, I am rather more confident considering the fact they have done so many projects in the past, and also because this land was previously actually what they call a plantation punya land lah. If I'm pronouncing the name correctly, it's actually by Gutier or Gutier. Then they got acquired and whatnot. So the ample amount of land over here is all owned by Sime Darby anyways. Now seeing the fact that the commercial area over here is already so much blostering, right, I have further conviction that this is going to turn out very fruitful. So Sime Darby, I think you guys gotta keep up the good work over here. I really also do hope more people come to Elmina City to just check this place out, right? Because when I'm here today, I'm so impressed. And I think I'm going to bring my significant other to come over here also during the weekends just to kind of see the place a little better and also experience Elmina City along with my significant other lah. So I think that's pretty much sums about Elmina City. If you guys want to come and check this place out, I personally would recommend. So we'll see you in the next township review, and ciao ciao, bye bye.